How are you feeling, first of all? Are you excited, nervous? This is like the playoffs happening over the final 6 games for your team.
Yeah, good to see you guys. Definitely, I'm excited. Even though it hasn't been pretty. I'm excited. We have a big week ahead of us starting tonight, and here we are in beautiful Chicago, getting ready for a super important game today. Like you said, every game feels like a playoff game, and it's been like that for the past I don't know how many days. But here we are, and concentrate on one day at a time.
Is the preparation any different for these games? Are you sitting there in your meetings and going, okay, this is who's available, just like every other day, but then you're like, you know what, I might go to this guy sooner because we are, like you said, in a playoff type of situation?
As far as the preparation goes, it's pretty consistent. I think it's just the way you manage games, and then in how much you use guys down the stretch, So I think that's the way we see it. Is that's the only difference. You're gonna be aggressive when you're taking out your starters or relievers or pinch hitting. It's like there's not tomorrow for us. It's do what we need to do today to win the baseball game, and then we worry about tomorrow. And the mentality has been like that for I don't know more than a month. When you're in the big leagues, you're trying to win every night. But right now, I think it's just how aggressive and the way you use all of you guys that are available.
Do those guys know that? Do the bullpen guys? Because I mean, you're talking about the bullpen. You're not making wholesale platoon changes in the lineup like some teams. You're talking about the bullpen. Do you have that conversation today when they get there? You walk around the outfield. What does that look like?
Yeah, of course. You got to let them know. You got to give them a heads up, and because they got different routines, And a guy that is probably used to pitching the seventh or eighth, hey man, it could be as early as the fourth inning. So their routines got to change a little bit. And I'll try and do it myself. Our pitching coaches, but we make sure we give those guys a heads up what we're thinking going into a game, so that way they can prepare and be ready on time.
Mendy, you're playing the Cubs. This is a playoff team. And I know you're mostly thinking, hey, we just got to win the games we're supposed to win, not only this week, but, even last week. It's not an excuse. But just the natural human reaction over the weekend from you, I know you were checking out the score at least to see how Cubs-Reds was going. Were you surprised? Like, the Cubs got swept by the Reds, and now we're here?
No, I mean anything can happen, man. Anybody can beat anybody at any particular day. I was just, concentrated on our games, and we didn't win a series. It was tough. It was frustrating for us. The fact that we couldn't win the series against the Nationals. We were, one swing away on Saturday, and then on Sunday, we didn't do much as a team. And then here we are sitting in this position. But again, the past is in the past, and all we could control now is taking care of business today.
What is tougher? Playing a team that's already clinched in the playoffs, but is a good team? Playing a team that has nothing to lose because they're packing up at the end of the series? Because you don't know what you're getting when you talk about preparation pregame for these teams.
Yeah, they're both tough, and especially not only when you're playing teams that are out of it, but you're playing a team like the Cubs that they might not push their starters, and they might go bullpen, and like it's a completely different game. But at the end of the day, you have to be ready for everything that they can throw at you, and control the things that you can control. But we didn't play well against the Nationals. We didn't play well against Miami. A couple of weeks ago, and we got them next after this series. So for me and for all of us here is win today.
Mendy, with the state of the starting staff, are you surprised it got to this point based on what it looked like at the start of the season, really for the first month and a half or two, and where you are now? Obviously, the youngsters have been a great addition here late, but when you looked at what the starting staff was like in spring training and then how good it was early on in the season, if I told you what it was going to look like by the end of the year with Senga still trying to figure things out in the minors, some guys going down, some guys not looking like themselves from last year, would you be shocked?
Yes, I'm not gonna lie. People ask me that. If we would have asked you that three of these kids that are going to start in the minor leagues are going to be part of your rotation in September, I was like, no chance. Maybe one of them, especially with how well we were throwing the ball for the first couple of months and the depth. Because I kept talking about our depth. We lost Manaya and Montas the first week of spring training, and we felt comfortable with what we had. But then injuries happen, and here we are. Throwing three kids that, like I said, you would have asked me in spring training what were the chances, and I would say maybe one, and maybe out of the bullpen. But you got to give those guys credit. You got to give people in player development a lot of credit because they put themselves in this kid in a position where whatever there was a need here at the big league club, there were options, and here they are, and we're counting on them.
Mendy, if not if you guys, I've been saying this for months, so I'm sticking with it. You guys are getting in, okay? I've been saying it for months. You guys are, yeah. Plus, you're playing the Cubs, and I root against anybody playing the Cubs, so you have to win. You have to win these games. But if and when you guys get in, will you start the three? Manaya, Peterson obviously has been really good for y'all, but I know you're going to say, "Oh, one game at a time," but you've had to have taken a small look at trying to set some sort of a rotation up. Would it be a Sproat, McLean, Peterson kind of deal, or would you fall back into the veterans in that first round series?
Well, I mean, we got to get in, right?
I trust that you're going to get in. Okay, I've already said that. I've been banging the drum for a month now, Mendy, so you got to listen to me.
I will continue to listen to you. No, I don't think we have the luxury right now to start thinking, okay, how are we going to line these guys up? I think, hey, we got Pearson tonight, we got Jonathan tomorrow, and then we'll take it one day at a time, and maybe this goes all the way down to the last day. Who knows? I mean, and then we're not probably going to be in a position where we start lining up people like. Right now, everything's on the table, all hands on deck, and we'll make those decisions when we have to.
All right, we've been talking about pitching the whole time. I want to go to the lineup. Can you believe that you're getting what you're getting out of the lineup? I'm not talking about Juan Soto having career home runs and doing exactly what he was brought in to do. Lindor is right about where you thought he would be. Pete's up and down, but banging a bunch of homers. Like all the way down through Beatty and Francisco Alvarez in the bottom of the order. Do you need to expect more from your lineup because of what the struggles of the pitching staff has been?
It's hard to describe too, Kratzy, because like you said, I was talking to some of our guys here on Sunday. I was like, man, you look at the year that Francisco's having, Lindor, what you expect out of him. The year that Soto's having, Pete, and then some of our guys like Nim's having a really good year, Jeff McNeil, Alvy, and then sometimes you look up and it's only a couple of runs. It's like, man, like what's going on? It's weird. It's strange that the fact that we're so streaky, and then you look up in some of the numbers and some of the seasons that these guys are having individually, they're right there. Along with the expectations that we had going into this year. I feel like, everybody talks about our pitching and all that. We've just been an inconsistent team for months, whenever we hit, we don't pitch. Whenever we pitch, we don't hit. And we haven't been playing, there's been stretches where we haven't been playing good defense. And, here we are in this position. But, hey, man, there's no looking back now. Today's a pretty important game, and we got to get ready for that one.
FT Fam Superpower believes that every human has 100-year potential, and they're going to help you get there. I like the sweatshirt, Eric Kratz, and I also love the way that Superpower takes care of its members.
Yeah. You go get your lab test, you become the best you. You be a member of this group, and your test will come back. It's unlocking things that you didn't know about yourself. This is stuff that players used all the time. you can do it now too.
Exactly, Kratz. How many of you have gone to a doctor's appointment? You get the classic, oh, you're fine, or just drink more water. No real data, no real game plan. With one simple blood draw with Superpower and over 100 biomarkers, that is way more than what you'd usually get, and it unlocks so much more about your own body. Head to superpower.com to learn more and lock in the special $199 price while it lasts. After you sign up, they'll ask you how you heard about them. Please make sure to mention the FT podcast to support the show. Your biology decoded, your blueprint activated with Superpower. Mendy, will the lineup essentially stay the same, or have you had any thoughts of doing anything different? And also just playing off what you're saying, when you look at so many of the individual stats and how they look good for the stars and even some of the supporting staff, do you think, hey, maybe I should try and, I don't know, shuffle things up? I know it's easier said than done. It's always the question we get from fans. Like right now, chat's loaded up. Hey, ask if you should move up Beatty, or, you know, there's a lot of questions like that arise. How much does that factor in for you and the staff to think about?
I mean, we think about it, we talk about it, and you continue to find for ways to put these guys in position where, hey, man, let's see if this can click here. Today, we haven't announced the lineup, but I got Nemo playing in center and I got Marte playing in left. Physically, he's to a point where, like, hey, man, we need to push you. And he's good to go. So we haven't done that pretty much a whole year, trying to take care of him. But here we are. And, we're doing that today, like I said. And then, I think that's one of the small adjustments. But the whole year, I've been thinking whether it's Pete third, Nemo fourth. On Sunday, I flicked those two. You're always looking for ways to help these guys, and that's what we'll continue to do here.
Is Senga done for the year? Can you comment on that? Is that something that has been discussed with the team, that maybe he's done and it's a reset?
No, I wouldn't say he's done. He threw a live EP today. I just got that report before I got on. He's down in Florida. He threw a live EP, 45 pitches. So now obviously he's going to get his next 3 or 4 days, and then we'll see where we're at. But I wouldn't say he's done.
I mean, it was about this time last year, you gave this one to AJ, and he didn't quite know at the time, but it set you guys on a run. So maybe he's there for you. Yesterday, off day. We had somebody with the Tigers on, and I said they had an off day too. Is that a great off day based on the struggles that you've had, a time to reset? Or was it a terrible off day for you because you're like, I just want to see another game. I need to see us back in playoff, controlling our own destiny. How was your off day, and what'd you do?
Yeah, no, it was a nice off day here in Chicago. I had the family with me. So it's always good to kind of take that day and reset and get your mind off of a little bit, as much as you can. But yeah, I think the way we see it here, just kind of get your mind out of it, disconnect for a little bit, and then back at it today. Especially after that tough weekend, that series against the Nationals, the past 2 games, Saturday and Sunday, where we didn't get the job done. Having an off day here, just kind of, like I said, get your mind out of it, and then just get ready for a pretty important week.
Mendy, when we were playing the Nationals, you just brought it up. When Jacob Young, yeah, that's his name.
Yeah.
Made those 2 catches. Were you like, especially the first one, the second one you see a little bit more often, but the first one, do you just look up at the heavens and say, why? Like, what the heck is going on? Because that's one of the best catches I've ever seen, and it happened against you in a playoff race. Like, can't he just kick it a little to the left or a little to the right, or the ball hit the ground and we get some runs and we're feeling good about ourselves?
Elite center fielder that looked like Lionel Messi doing that. I turned to my right and I was like, Gibby, I never seen anything like that. What are the chances that the ball comes out and he kicks it and he's able to control the baseball? Like you mentioned, the one in the 9th inning, that happens a lot, right? But that first one on Beatty leading off an inning, he was like, man, this is hard to believe. But, hey, man, nobody's going to feel sorry for us. We got to keep going.
All right, we see your 3 rookie pitchers that have stepped up in a big way, each in different times, McLean, Tong, and Sproat. What is the characteristic that you want to see most from those guys? We see the balls moving every which way. Tong's got the late life from a small person, delivery, long extension. What's the one characteristic that you want to see that you'll be like, I know I can go to that guy even though he's a rookie when we make the playoffs?
Yeah, look, I mean, they all got elite stuff. I think it's just their ability to make adjustments. Like having an understanding what a lineup, what hitters are trying to do to you. For me, that's the number one characteristic. Especially for guys that are just getting to the league here, and they've shown that. We've seen how lineups are trying to make adjustments to Nolan, to Jonathan, and even to Sprody. And after that first time through the lineup, watching them go out there and make some adjustments, or even in between at bats, the way some of the hitters are taking pitches or how aggressive they are against certain pitches in certain situations, and how, you watch them and just their ability to make adjustments and recognize that, hey, all right, they're doing this, like, but I can also make this adjustment and go with this. So for me, it's just their ability to make some adjustments in game is what's been pretty impressive from my end.
Hey, Mendy, last one at the finish line here. We've seen some of the numbers come out from the Mets org about the attendance, and the numbers were fantastic as expected. Much higher than last year, obviously coming off a nice playoff performance. Last year, you usually get that bump, and it looked like it lasted for a while. The vibes have been great. So what was that like to experience for most of the year? Did you feel like there were more fans and more energy throughout this season compared to last year? And what would your message be to fans here in the final week?
Yeah, I mean, unreal, incredible. I mean, we definitely felt it. The appreciation from myself, from our team. It's just off the chart because they packed Citi Field. They were right there. Even there was like weekdays in playing some series. Their school started and it's almost 40,000 people. Like, amazing, just appreciation, thank you. And our message is to just continue to believe, man. Like, I know it's been hard, I know they are frustrated. I mean, we get frustrated too, but hey, we got an opportunity to do something special, and that's our goal.